The next mistake I see people making is they solve the wrong problem. What is that first initial challenge or problem they're trying to solve? And you need to address that specific situation first and foremost. And only one problem, not 6, 7, 8, just the one problem. Okay, before we dive in, on every episode, I'm going to share with you what is lighting me up, what is bringing me fire right now, what's giving me energy, what's giving me clarity, what's giving me momentum, what I'm grateful for. So I'm going to share that with you at the onset of every episode. And for this episode, what's giving me fire right now is my consistency at the gym. I'm going to be annoying. I'm going to keep talking about it until I don't feel like talking about it anymore. It has been so fun to see how strong I am, how I can commit to something and stick with it. And it's giving me a lot of confidence because of that integrity. I'm doing what I say I'm going to do, which ties perfectly into this episode, which is all about how to build a lead magnet, which perfectly ties into this episode because we're going to call it Gym Gains to List Gains and the important aspects of building a lead magnet that actually works in today's world. I even get questions all the time like, is it still important to build a list? Absolutely. And I will get into it. So first of all, I think Tony Robbins said it first, is like repetition is the mother of skill. And, or like whatever, you need 10,000 hours to become a master at something. Well, I'm putting in the work at the gym. And what's funny about it, and I think about this sometimes too, is you have to keep going. It's like not like you build the muscle and then the muscle stays. Like if you stop going, then the muscle atrophies or gets, weaker. And the same thing with business. You can't like build it and then just let it run. There is no free lunch. I'm sorry. You have to stay in there and have consistency and integrity. And so like this has all really been clicking for me lately. Even the days I don't feel like going to the gym almost matter more than the days that I'm like super motivated and inspired to go, because it's those days that you kind of push past the I don't feel like it voice, which comes up a lot in business, in marketing, in getting visible, in sales, every aspect of, like in systems, every aspect of business. There are very unsexy parts of it. And so I really feel like this parallel of my gym experience and working out and like staying on my nutrition has really paralleled how to operate in business and in building a brand and building your marketing. So I like to say consistency compounds, and this happens both in the gym and in business. So let's like tie it all together. Here's why lead magnets are the same. So lead magnets aren't like a one-time tactic. You don't put up a PDF, say a prayer and then hope for the best. You don't promote it once. You don't talk about it once and hope for the best. You talk about it consistently over and over and over again. And if you're not doing this, I think people think about it wrongly, where they think of this freebie or this free gift and as though it's just something you're giving away of value. And I need you to reframe it in your mind into an entry point into your world. This is someone coming to the front door of your house, of your business, of your brand, and going, knock, knock, knock. I would love to see what's inside. And this is like, so it's not just like, hey, here you go. This is like the beginning of the relationship with your ideal client. And if someone is willing to give up their name, not give up, but hand over their name and their email to you, This is a huge hand raise into them saying, you know what? I like your vibe. I like what you have to sell and offer or what you're talking about. I feel like you get me so much so that I am going to allow you access to my email. It feels like the holy grail these days. And so, like, much like the gym, if you're not like flexing that promo muscle of sharing with people your lead magnet or your free gift or the entry point into your world, people aren't going to know how to get to you. They're not going to know how to first engage with you. So the mistake I see most often is people treating this like a one-off campaign or a one-off deal, and they're also not like reevaluating throughout the year. Like, is this lead magnet working? Is this the best way to meet? Is this the best way to meet my ideal client? Is this the best way to invite someone into my world? And so these are all questions I want you to be asking yourself, especially if you have a lead magnet already set up in your business. Okay, so first let's talk about what doesn't work with lead magnets. Why most of them fail. Why you like spend all this time creating something, you put it out into the world and crickets, nothing happens. So let's talk about that first. The biggest mistakes I see people make is they go way too broad with their lead magnet, whether that's a guide or a PDF or even a quiz. They're trying to talk very much on the surface or cover way too much ground at the beginning of this entry point. And this just creates a nebulous, fluffy nothing where your ideal client doesn't know, like, hey, is this for me or not? Or I like kind of have that, issue or problem or challenge, but it's not really exactly what I'm going through. So forget about it, scroll past, or forget about it, not going to read the email or whatever. So that's a big, huge mistake I see people making is they are going way too broad. The next mistake I see people making is they solve the wrong problem. They're like 8 steps ahead of where your ideal client is. And I always tell my clients, let's assess the situation. If your client is waking up at 3 a.m. panicked about something, what is the literal phrase that they are putting into ChatGPT or a Google search? Like, what is that first initial like challenge or problem they're trying to solve? And you need to address that specific situation first and foremost. That's that very first question they want answered. What's that very first problem that they want solved? And only one problem, not 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 problems, just the one problem. And you don't want to get too advanced. It's not that you don't want to offer a lot of value. You just don't want to get too advanced too soon in the game because it will feel overwhelming to the consumer or to the ideal client or the viewer. Okay. Another big problem I see is that you're not creating a sense of relief for the reader. So they've opted in, hallelujah. They've downloaded the whatever, or they're on the free video or training, and you're not actually giving the person a sense of relief or a micro win. They're not arriving at something that was like, oh, okay, thank you so much. That one first problem, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. I can see the win here, or I can put something into action right now or first thing tomorrow morning and give myself some relief. So you want to make sure whatever you're putting together for your lead magnet has that micro win in it. And final big mistake I see with lead magnets is it's disconnected from the next step. Like you're solving for a problem that doesn't lead into your core main offer. Okay, I'll just use my own business as an example. So we build funnels for our clients, lead magnet funnels, trainings, webinar funnels, all kinds of funnels to help generate leads and sales for their businesses. But we know about colors and brands and photo shoots and all those things. So if we put out a lead magnet that talked about that, and then we try to move them into building a funnel, it doesn't make sense. Yeah, it's under the same umbrella, but one's not leading to the other. So we might put up like 5 big mistakes that you're making with your lead magnet. And it's like, okay, we've offered some clarity and micro win. Now the next thing was, maybe let us help you not make those mistakes and make a lead magnet that works. So you want to make sure that the lead magnet is the entry point into your whole customer journey. So step A really leads to step B to C to D and so on and so forth. And if those two are disconnected from A to B, you're going to have a really hard time leveraging your lead magnet in order to make a sale into your first offer or your core offer. So how do you actually build a lead magnet that works? So you want to solve for one problem. Let's start there. What is your audience actively frustrated by? So ask yourself that question. I kind of touched on this before. They're waking up at 3 a.m. They're panicked. They want this one problem solved. Say you're like in functional health or some type of wellness coach. They're like waking up in the middle of the night. It's like, how am I going to fit into that dress for my daughter's wedding? Or I'm going to my 20-year high school reunion and I want to look good. Or they just have a special moment or a special occasion that they want to make sure that they look good for, or they're just tired of walking past the mirror every single day and not feeling good about themselves and their body. So what can you do to help them solve for that initial angsty problem? Okay. Think like you could finish the sentence. I wish someone would just tell me X. Just tell me how to do it and I'll do it. And what is that thing? Okay, so next thing is you want to give them a quick win, something that they can do in the next 5 minutes or the next day that will really help solve their problem. They should feel a sense of relief within minutes of downloading or starting to read whatever it is that you're providing. What works for this really well are like checklists, the framework that you use, and you're giving them clarity, not overwhelm. You don't want to give them 90 steps to the outcome. This is talking about like 1, 2, 3, the first 3 things that they need to do, or the first thing that they need to do. So you just want to minimize overwhelm as much as possible and give them something that they can have a quick win. It's like not like we're going to train to run a marathon in this first initial freebie, but we're going to get our butt inside the gym, right? Like we're going to go get on the treadmill. So it's like that very first step. And then lastly, you want to give them an irresistible result that parlays and relates to your core offer. So what does that mean? Like what does it do for them? What does it fix? Not what it is, but what does it fix? What problem again is being solved? It's like know exactly how to X. Stop guessing about why. Finally see what's missing in your marriage, in your career path, in your marketing, in your wellness journey, in your weight loss program. This is the one hook of why this thing isn't working. So are you kind of starting to see the through line? You solve for one problem for one particular person. I get this a lot, but I can help everybody. Even if you can, it's going to be really tough for you to come up with messaging and be direct if you're trying to help everyone. A 50-year-old male wanting to get healthy is a completely different conversation than a postpartum mom who wants to lose the pregnancy weight. Like those are 2 very different conversations, and you're not going to be speaking to either one of them if you're trying to help both or from there to there and everything in between. So you want to get really specific on solving the one problem for the one person, your ideal client. And look, this is what I always tell my clients, there will be outliers. That's fine. You're like, oh, like say you want to help like women-owned businesses. Well, we have also men in our client roster, and that's fine. But it's like there's outliers, but who we talk to is a very specific person. And so you want to start doing that for your niche, your marketing, how you're attracting clients. And it will, trust me, the conversation will get that much easier. This is a question I get all the time. Is email and list building still important? Yes, it is. Short answer, yes, period, full stop. There are a couple of reasons why. One, we love social media. We love it. It's so great. You're going to reach audiences and people that you never knew you could without spending a dollar on ads. That's amazing. But if Instagram or TikTok or LinkedIn goes down for a day and you are reliant on that audience to make sales and or market to, or if, who knows what could happen as far as like those social media platforms, you do not own, quote unquote, own that audience whatsoever. They could shut down your account. They could, any myriad of things could happen, but your email list is yours. So, more or less. And you can nurture at a deeper depth to the people on your email list than you can even on social media. Social media is like a little taste. And then email marketing, you can really begin to nurture that audience ongoing. We just sent an email the other day and immediately got replies of like, oh, this is interesting. Let's book a call. Or, oh, this is interesting. I'm interested in what you're saying and what you're, offering here. So, and then I see it with other creators all the time where they're sending emails every couple of days, not even like product-based emails, like people who provide services and work online courses, and they're making sales daily because of their email list, especially if you have a really high repeat customer base or people who are advocating for you. If they're getting those touch points in email every single week, a couple times a week, that'll just up your impact and your ability to nurture and sell that much more. So you own your own list. You're not at the mercy of any kind of algorithm change, which is awesome. And then attention is rented, but email is owned, so to speak. Like you're kind of seeing what you can grab attention wise on your social channels. But in email, those people have already raised hands saying, I want to learn more from you. I want to know more about you, or I want to know more about your business, or I want to know more about what you offer or the expertise that you have. So there's a deeper connection point, and it allows for less touch points with more action. For all you skeptics out there, I'm going to give you a little stat. So the ROI on email marketing is for every $1 spent, you're making $36 to $42 back in return. Meaning if you're spending on your email marketing platform, design, automation, your time itself or putting an email together, for every dollar value of that, it will produce a $36 minimum return. I don't know about you, but that stat is very juicy, very good. And this far outperforms ad spend, social media returns in a standard sense. Does it still make sense to build a list in 2026? Absolutely. And you, again, can do such a deeper dive on nurturing your audience in your email, much more so than on social channels. And it is a huge revenue driver. So again, if you're promoting on social, someone opts in through like a mini chat funnel or just raises their hand, wants to know more, you put them on your list, you're going to get such a revenue builder in your business. So definitely don't sleep on building a lead magnet and creating and building your email list. So here's your action, your little homework that I want you to take away from this episode. I want you to put a poll on your social channels and ask them like, what's one question you have about your particular arena, industry, offer. Not the offer itself, but like with the problem that you're solving, and use those answers to that question as your next lead magnet concept. Okay. And if you currently have a lead magnet going and you would like us to audit it, we've done that for clients as well, and take a look and see what's working, what's not working. Just send me a DM and with the word, let's say with the word lead magnet audit, and we will get in touch and do a little free audit for you. If you found this episode supportive and interesting, go ahead and take a screenshot and share it to your social channels and share the love. Can't wait to see you on the next episode and make your brand even more on fire.